Yo, this right here is one of those stories that sound too wild to be true, but it actually happened. Toronto's very own Champagne Poppy Drake just got into a real physical fight in public. And according to multiple eyewitnesses, he lost in seconds. Yeah, you heard that right? Drake, the global superstar, the man who once said, "I'm not the guy that you run to. I'm the guy that make you run," apparently, got run up on and folded faster than a fitted sheet. Now listen, before y'all start typing, "This can't be real." The footage that's supposedly circulating online got fans in absolute disbelief. We're talking people yelling, "That's not Drake," while others swear they saw him wearing the same chrome jacket from his BBL Drizzy release party. Bro, the internet is on fire right now. Sources close to the OVO camp are saying this all went down outside a luxury lounge in Miami around 2 a.m., right after Drake was spotted with a mystery woman. Not the usual A-list type either. But someone fans are already calling the reason it all popped off. Apparently, words were exchanged, drinks were spilled. And before anyone could even pull out their phones, Drake found himself face to face with a man who clearly wasn't interested in selfies or small talk. And what happened next? Let's just say people who were there are describing it as the most humbling moment of Drake's career. Fans are shocked. The OVO crew is silent. And social media. Bro, it's melting down. So grab your popcorn. Because what started as a chill Miami night turned into one of the biggest public L's Drake has ever taken. And the reason behind it might be way deeper than you think. Bro, this story right here takes a wild turn from the moment Drake steps out that lounge in Miami. It's late, humid, and that type of night where the air feels heavy with drama. He's got a small entourage with him, 2 security guys, couple of industry friends, and that mystery woman everyone's been talking about. She's wearing a low-cut black dress, clutching his arm, whispering in his ear while flashes from random fans' phones light up the sidewalk. Drake's looking relaxed, maybe a little too relaxed, smiling that trademark half grin like everything's under control. But trust me, everything was about to go left real quick. People at the scene say it started with a stare. This dude, tall, tatted up, wearing a faded white tank and some gold chains, standing across the street near a valet sign. Nobody paid him much attention at first, until he starts yelling something that sounded like, "You still owe me that talk, bro." It cut through the noise, sharp, angry. Drake turns his head, kind of confused, but keeps walking toward his car. The crowd starts murmuring. His security's eyes flick over to the guy sizing him up. And then it happens again, louder this time. You think you can play people like that? Now you know how it is with Drake in public. Everyone's phones go up instantly, ready to catch a moment that could go viral in seconds. Fans are whispering, some laughing, others backing up because they already smell tension. And Drake, man, you can see that split-second hesitation, like he's debating whether to respond or just keep it moving. But the guy doesn't give him that choice. He steps forward, hands out, voice shaking with fury. "Say that stuff to my face. Not on them songs." One of Drake's security guards moves in between them, hand up like, "Yo, bro, chill." But the energy, it's bad. That mystery girl grabs Drake's arm, whispering something like, "Let's just go." But Drake shrugs slightly, as if he's too deep in the moment to walk away. He says calmly, "I don't even know you, my guy." But the man laughs, that kind of cold, sarcastic laugh that makes everyone watching feel uncomfortable. "Oh, you remember me," he says, stepping closer. "You remember what you did?" Now the crowd's getting louder, people pulling out phones, someone yelling Drizzy about to scrap. It's chaos. Even some random bystanders who weren't fans start moving in just to see what's happening. The air's thick with that mix of alcohol, cologne, and pure adrenaline. And right then, the man lunges forward, not even throwing a real punch yet, just shoving Drake hard in the chest. The sound echoes, and the crowd gasps. Drake stumbles a bit, looks stunned. One of his security guys grabs the dude instantly, but the man swings wildly, hitting Drake's shoulder. And here's where it gets crazy. Instead of backing off, Drake actually steps toward him, face tight, like he's had enough of being disrespected in front of everyone. You can hear people shouting, "No way, Drake about to fight." And it's true. He squares up slightly, raising his hands just a little. But this guy isn't playing. He swings again, clean, fast, connects right across Drake's cheek. The sound is ugly, like that slap you hear in a boxing gym. Drake's head jerks sideways, his hat flies off, and the crowd screams. Someone yells, "Oh, he hit him!" Security rushes in, tackling the man to the ground. But Drake's already stumbling backward, dazed, touching his face. Fans are stunned. They've never seen him look like that. The woman with him is in shock, clutching her purse, backing up as paparazzi start running over from down the street. One of Drake's boys shouts, "Yo, get him out of here," trying to cover him as they push through the growing crowd. People are chanting, phones up, flashes everywhere. Someone's yelling, "Drake got rocked." Another says, "Nah, that wasn't him. That's a stunt double." But nah, it was definitely Drake. They rush him toward the car, his cheek already starting to swell. He's not bleeding, but you can see that hit did damage. Inside the car, he slams the door shut while his security tries to keep paparazzi away. And even from behind the tinted glass, you can see Drake's face, tight jaw, eyes locked straight ahead. Like he's replaying the moment in his head over and over again. What makes this whole situation even messier is what the guy yelled right before security dragged him off. Witnesses say he screamed, "Tell the world what you did to my cousin Drake." And suddenly everyone around stopped laughing. Like, what, cousin? People are whispering theories, some saying it's about money, others saying it's something way deeper. Minutes later, social media starts blowing up. Short blurry clips hit X and Instagram. You can see the scuffle. Drake's hat flying, that quick flash of his shocked expression. Hashtags like #DrakeFight and #DrakeGotRocked start trending instantly. Fans are torn, half of them defending him, saying he got jumped, while others are like, "Nah, Drake really lost a fight in public." Even celebrities start chiming in. Lil Yachty comments, "No way," while academics tweets, "This is wild." Champagne got humbled. And what's crazier? That mystery woman disappears completely right after. People are posting pictures from earlier in the night, trying to figure out who she was. She was with Drake inside the lounge, dancing, smiling, even whispering in his ear at one point. But after the fight, gone. Some say she left in another car. Others claim she stayed behind talking to that same guy's friends. It's giving setup energy. A guy who works valet that night goes on live later saying he saw the whole thing. According to him, the man had been waiting outside for over an hour, pacing, checking his phone like he was expecting someone. It wasn't random, the valet says. That dude came there for Drake. And the craziest part? When police arrive minutes later, Drake's already gone. The man who threw the punch is handcuffed, but smiling like he knows something everyone else doesn't. He tells the cops, "That's just part one. Y'all gonna hear the rest soon." That line right there sends chills through social media once people hear it. What rest was he talking about? Meanwhile, Drake's team stays completely silent. No comments, no statements, nothing. But insiders close to OVO start leaking small details. Like how Drake's been under a lot of pressure lately after public feuds, and how this might have been a personal issue resurfacing. One even says quietly, it wasn't about music. And that's with Drake driving off into the Miami night, jaw clenched, phone buzzing nonstop, while the man who hit him sits in cuffs outside the lounge smiling like he just flipped. The script on the world's biggest rapper. Nobody knows yet what really sparked it, or how deep the connection goes between that man, the woman, and Drake himself. But what's clear is that this wasn't random, it was personal. And it's about to get a whole lot darker. The next morning, Miami wakes up to chaos. Every blog, gossip page, and rap forum is flooded with that same blurry clip of Drake getting hit. People are dissecting every frame like it's the Zapruder tape. Fans are zooming in, comparing outfits, trying to confirm if it was really him. Some are in denial, saying it's AI or a look-alike, while others swear the chain around his neck was the same one he wore in the last Instagram story he posted just hours before the incident. Even TMZ-style outlets are running the headline, "Drake involved in altercation in Miami." adding fuel to the fire without confirming anything. But behind the headlines, according to a source who claims to be close to Drake's circle, Tiana wasn't some new fling. She was connected to the man who attacked him they used to date. Now the story's spinning fast. The guy who swung on Drake wasn't just a stranger. His name's reportedly Marcus Moreno, Tiana's older brother. And if that's true, this fight wasn't about fame or clout. It was family by midday. A new clip leaks showing Marcus yelling while being handcuffed. "He played with my sister's name. He thought it was sweet," he shouts as cops lead him away. The crowd around gasps, and that's when it all starts to make sense for people watching online. Did Drake mess with this girl, then ghost her? Did he promise her something? Everyone's got their theories, but the silence from Drake's camp only makes it worse. Fans are arguing under every post. Some are defending Drake, saying Marcus overreacted, that it's probably a misunderstanding. Others are calling it karma, claiming Drake's been dodging accountability for years. People are pulling up lyrics from his old songs, trying to link lines to Tiana. Pointing at bars like Left at 10 in Miami, who still calling me baby and saying he was talking about her. Social media is treating this like an ongoing investigation. And everyone's a detective. Then comes the twist nobody expected. Around 5 p.m., Marcus posts bail, and instead of laying low, he goes live on Instagram. He's sitting in a car, face bruised, voice calm but cold. "I'm not out here for clout," he says. "Y'all want to know why it happened? Ask Drake about what he promised my sister 2 years ago. Ask him why he left her hanging." The live hits 50,000 viewers within minutes. People flood the comments asking for receipts, for proof, for details. Marcus doesn't say much else, but he ends with one chilling line: "You embarrass people in private, God gon' embarrass you in public." That quote spreads like wildfire. The internet eats it up. Even major meme pages post it with captions like "Drake got humbled by the streets." Suddenly, it's not just gossip, it's a morality play. Everyone's debating whether Drake deserved it, whether fame finally caught up to him. And still, Drake says nothing. His last Instagram post remains up. A cryptic caption from before the fight that reads, "Every king gets tested." Fans start commenting under it. "Well, you just failed that test." By evening, paparazzi catch him leaving his Miami hotel with a hoodie pulled low, face hidden. But even under the hood, you can tell the cheeks swollen. He's moving fast, ignoring the cameras. One paparazzo shouts, "Drake, what happened last night?" And for the first time, he breaks his silence, mumbling something like, "Don't believe everything you see." But that only adds fuel to the fire because everyone saw something. Inside sources leak that Drake's team is furious. Apparently, they wanted to suppress the footage before it went viral. But someone from inside the lounge sold it to a gossip site for $20,000. That's when things start to get messy behind the scenes. OVO's security chief reportedly gets suspended for mishandling the situation. There are whispers that one of Drake's close associates might have even tipped off Tiana and her brother about where Drake would be that night. Betrayal vibes all around. The story keeps evolving when someone who claims to be Tiana's friend posts a long thread on X. She says Drake met Tiana back in 2023 after a private show in Atlanta. They hit it off, he flew her out a few times, promised her an opportunity to work on a brand campaign, but ghosted her when she started catching feelings. She was heartbroken, and Marcus, her brother, always blamed Drake for it. He said he'd make him answer one day, the friend writes. The internet goes wild. Within hours. The post racks up millions of views. Journalists start calling it the OVO heartbreak scandal. People dig deeper, finding old pictures of Drake and Tiana together at a pool party months ago. The receipts start to pile up. And now even Drake's most loyal fans can't fully defend him. One viral tweet says, "Drake really went from lover boy to street brawler in one night." Night falls again. Something even crazier happens. A second video leaks, a longer angle of the fight. In this one, you can hear Drake's voice clearly saying, "Bro, that's between me and her, not you." Then the punch lands. Suddenly, that single sentence changes everything. It confirms there was something between him and Tiana, and it proves Marcus had a reason, at least in his mind, to confront him. Now fans are split down the middle. One side's calling Marcus a hero, the other saying he's just chasing fame off his sister's name. Podcasts start dissecting the psychology of Drake's love life. People bring up old patterns, the flings, the lyrics about heartbreak, the cryptic messages about trust. Even rival artists subtly shade him. One rapper posts a laughing emoji with "not everyone built for real-life smoke." Everyone knows who he's talking about by midnight. Drake's close friend Noah, 40 Shabib, posts something vague on his story. "You can't win when you play with emotions." The OVO fans take it as confirmation that Drake's really going through it. Blogs repost the story with captions like "OVO camp cracking under pressure. It's pure chaos. And just when everyone thinks it can't get crazier, a voice note leaks online. It's allegedly drakesvoice.com, but tired, saying, "I didn't mean for it to go this far. Tell them to stop." Nobody knows who he's talking to, but that clip spreads faster than wildfire. Is it real? Is it edited? Nobody can tell, but it paints Drake as someone who's losing control of the situation, both emotionally and publicly at this point. Miami becomes ground zero for paparazzi. Every corner Drake might show up, they're there. But he stays hidden, skipping his scheduled appearance at a club that weekend. Instead, rumors say he flew back to Toronto that night quietly. His jet reportedly left Miami around 3 a.m. Insiders claim he told his team, "Let it blow over." But it's too late. The story's global. UK tabloids are covering it. French media's calling it Le Scandale Drizzy. And even sports pages are making memes about him losing in seconds. The real kicker, though, comes when someone posts a new video from inside the lounge before the fight. In that clip, Drake and Tiana are seen arguing near the bar. She's clearly upset, waving her hands, saying, "You said you wouldn't embarrass me again." And Drake, trying to calm her down, says, "Tiana, not here." It's quick, but enough to confirm this wasn't a random run-in. This was brewing long before fists flew, and that's exactly where things get darker, because if the argument started inside, it's cool. Who told Marcus to wait outside? Someone had to. Someone close enough to know Drake's movements, to know exactly when he'd leave. The internet starts naming names, and suddenly, Drake's inner circle isn't looking so loyal anymore. Whispers of betrayal start growing louder, and everyone's wondering if Drake's biggest fight wasn't with Marcus. But with his own people by the next day, the situation has completely spiraled out of control. What started as a quick altercation on a Miami sidewalk has turned into a full-blown cultural event. Every podcast, gossip show, and hip-hop blog is talking about it. Hashtags like #DrakeFightNight and #MiamiMess are still trending. And fans are now comparing the moment to legendary celebrity meltdowns. People are making remixes of the punch sound, TikToks with the words "lost in seconds," and even fake press conference memes where Drake is edited looking defeated behind a mic. But behind all the noise, there's something brewing that nobody saw coming. Marcus, the man who punched Drake, is suddenly getting attention from a whole different kind of crowd. A small Miami label posts a cryptic story that says, "Real ones move different. Respect the family code." People take it as them showing support for Marcus. Blogs start calling him the man who humbled Drizzy. His follower count explodes overnight. And with every new follower, his story gains more credibility in the public eye. Tiana finally breaks her silence late that afternoon. She posts a single story on Instagram, just black text on a white background. It says, "I never wanted any of this. Please stop dragging my family. People make mistakes. I'm healing." Within minutes, it's screenshotted and shared everywhere. People start dissecting her words. Is she defending Drake? Is she admitting there's truth to what Marcus said? It's vague enough to keep the mystery alive, but emotional enough to feel authentic. The internet eats it up. Meanwhile, back in Toronto, Drake's camp is scrambling. Insiders say his team's in full crisis mode. One person leaks that Drake's been calling private meetings with OVO members, trying to find out who leaked his location that night. Apparently, tensions are running high. Voices raised, people pointing fingers, accusations flying around. The atmosphere is toxic. One insider says he feels betrayed. He doesn't even trust his own circle right now. Drake himself hasn't been seen in public since the flight back. Paparazzi photos show his driveway blocked off, security doubled. One fan who lives near his mansion claims they heard music blasting from inside all night, old unreleased tracks. Mostly sad ones. People online are calling it Drake's heartbreak bunker. Some even joke he's recording a new project right now, calling it the Punch Tapes. But not everyone's laughing. Several celebrities start quietly showing support. One R&B singer tweets, "The internet gotta stop cheering for people's downfall." While a producer posts, "Y'all forgot he's human." Still, the narrative's already out of his hands. People are too entertained by this scandal. Around this time, another bombshell drops. Someone leaks text messages allegedly between Drake and Tiana. The texts aren't verified, but they look real enough to shake things up. One of the messages reads, "I told you I couldn't promise that kind of thing. It's not personal." And she replies, "You said you'd look out for me, Drake." That single screenshot sends the internet into a frenzy again. Every gossip page reposts it with captions like, "This changes everything." Marcus reacts to the leak by posting a short message. "She tried to protect him even now." That says a lot. Fans start siding with him again, saying he's standing up for his sister's dignity. Others call him manipulative, accusing him of milking the moment. It becomes a war of perspectives, and everyone's picking sides. Then, out of nowhere, a new detail emerges that flips the story yet again. A Miami club promoter reveals that the guy who leaked the original fight video wasn't a random bystander. It was someone from inside Drake's own entourage. He doesn't name names, but says, "Check who was recording instead of helping." That comment alone ignites a whole new wave of speculation. Fans start rewatching the clip frame by frame, trying to identify who had the phone out. Some claim they spot one of Drake's associates, a guy who's been in background photos for years. People are calling it snake energy. By now, Drake's public image has taken a hit. Brands that usually repost his content are suddenly quiet. Journalists who normally defend him start writing pieces about the fall of invincibility. It's like the world that once idolized him is now enjoying his humiliation. One viral comment reads, "He spent years singing about breaking hearts. Now the heartbreak came swinging back." But even through all that noise, there's one thing everyone agrees on. The story feels unfinished. Too many loose ends. Too many unanswered questions. Who leaked the location? Who recorded the fight? And what really went down between Drake and Tiana before that night? 3 days later, Drake finally speaks publicly. He drops a short voice note on his Instagram story. No music, no filter, just his voice. Calm, a little broken. He says, "Sometimes you think you're handling things privately, and life reminds you nothing's private anymore. I'm good though. Peace to everyone involved." It's not exactly an apology, but it's reflective enough to spark sympathy. Fans flood his comments with hearts and dove emojis, saying things like, "Stay strong, King, and they can't break you." But the haters, they double down. One comment goes viral saying, "You can't sing your way out of this one." A few hours later, Marcus posts again just a video of him shadowboxing in a gym with the caption, "Training never stops." People take it as a jab, pun intended. The comment section fills with "rematch soon" jokes. Even rappers start dropping subliminals in their lyrics. One underground artist releases a freestyle with the line, "Don't talk slick if your jaw's still sore." Fans instantly assume it's aimed at Drake. The energy online is unreal. Drake's loss has become part of meme culture. Brands are referencing it. Sports commentators are using Drake as slang for taking an unexpected keys. He's turned into a moment, not the good kind. But here's where the story shifts again. A week after the incident, a private security report leaks. It states that moments before the fight, A man resembling Marcus received a phone call from an unknown number traced back to Toronto. That's right, Toronto. Now people are wondering if someone from Drake's circle intentionally set him up. Theories explode again, and suddenly, the sympathy starts swinging back toward Drake. People begin to believe he was ambushed. Not Careless. A podcast host breaks it down perfectly, saying if that call was real, it means Drake's not just dealing with a street fight, he's dealing with betrayal from the inside. That line hits hard. Fans who were laughing days ago start posting things like, nah, if they set Drake up. That's foul. The tide of public opinion starts to turn. Slowly. Meanwhile, insiders claim Drake's working on new music, not to capitalize, but to process. One person says he's not talking to anyone, just recording. And you can tell he's hurt. Not physically, emotionally. Rumors spread that the new songs are darker, more vulnerable, but also more direct. No subliminals this time. He's naming names. And that's where the situation stands. The internet divided. The truth still murky, and Drake sitting in Toronto, quietly crafting his response. Not on Twitter, not in interviews, but in the studio. The fight might have lasted seconds, but the fallout, it's turning into one of the biggest real-life dramas the rap world's seen in years. And as fans speculate, Tiana goes completely silent, deleting all her social media. Some say she's hiding from the spotlight. Others think she's negotiating an exclusive tell-all deal. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. Because what's coming next? It's not just about a punch. It's about betrayal, redemption, okay? And Drake facing the one opponent he's never beaten before, his own past. Days later, the whole situation takes another unpredictable twist. What started as one night of chaos in Miami has now turned into a worldwide obsession. But here's the thing, by this point, it's not even about the fight anymore. It's about what that fight revealed. People start saying the punch was just the surface of something way deeper. Years of quiet enemies, personal regrets, and a version of Drake the world never really saw before. Late one night, Drake's jet is spotted landing in Los Angeles. The blogs go crazy again. Drake finally back in LA after the Miami incident. One headline reads, but fans who see him stepping out notice something different. No jewelry, no big entourage, no flashy energy. He's walking slow, hoodie up, headphones in, like someone lost in his own thoughts. For once, it's the man who's always had everything under control looks like he's just trying to breathe. Rumor has it he's heading to the studio to meet with 40 and a few close producers. Insiders say he's been working nonstop, recording track after track, some angry, some emotional, some even remorseful. One source says he's not trying to clear his name anymore. He's trying to tell his side through music. And just like that, the narrative starts shifting again. Around this time, another unseen video surfaces, but this one changes everything. It's security footage from a nearby store, showing the moments right before the fight. You can clearly see Marcus waiting outside, pacing and talking on his phone. Suddenly, a black SUV pulls up for a few seconds. Window down? Someone handing him what looks like a folded paper or maybe cash. The internet loses its mind. Theories explode everywhere. Who was in that SUV? Was this planned? Did someone pay Marcus to provoke Drake? Fans start saying Drake might have been set up for real. One popular blogger breaks it down frame by frame in a viral video, saying, look right here, the car doesn't even park. Whoever was in that SUV knew exactly where to stop and when to leave. That's not random. People begin connecting the dots. Some claim it's a rival artist's crew behind it. Others think it's a personal betrayal from within OVO. And then something happens that nobody expected. Marcus suddenly deletes all his posts, wipes his Instagram, and goes completely silent. The timing's suspicious. The same day, reports surface that Drake's legal team has reached out to him privately. Speculation runs wild. Did Drake press charges? Did they reach a settlement? Nobody knows. All people see is Marcus disappearing from the public eye right when the pressure hits. Tina, on the other hand, breaks her silence again, this time in an emotional live video. She's crying, clearly overwhelmed, saying, "This wasn't supposed to happen. I never wanted him hurt. I never wanted my brother to go that far." She doesn't name Drake, but she doesn't deny the connection either. People start feeling sympathy for her now. Her tone's real, her emotions raw. She even admits Drake wasn't lying. "Things between us got messy, but he didn't deserve what happened." That single statement flips the internet upside down suddenly. Drake goes from being the villain to being seen as the victim of betrayal and miscommunication. Even some of his harshest critics backtrack, saying, "Yo, maybe we jumped to conclusions." It's a wild reversal. The same people who mocked him days ago are now defending him. The internet can't make up its mind, but while the world argues, Drake stays silent. No tweets, no posts, nothing. Until one morning, out of nowhere, he drops a surprise song. It's not on streaming platforms, just a link posted on his story with the caption, "For the ones who think they know." The track goes instantly viral, the beat's cold, minimal, with that haunting OVO style. His voice sounds calm but heavy, like he's carrying the weight of everything. The lyrics, they hit hard. He says things like, "Tried to show love. They threw hate in return. They filmed a moment. Thought they'd make me burn." Then later, "They don't film the tears. Only when you fall/funny how silence can expose them all." It's emotional, mature and self-aware, classic Drake. But sharper, wiser. Fans call it a masterpiece. Critics say it's his best work in years. Even people who don't like him admit he turned pain into power. And just like that, the energy shifts again. The memes start fading. The jokes stop hitting the same. Instead of laughter, people start talking about redemption. Drake's back on top, not because he denied the fight, but because a week later, a journalist manages to catch him leaving a studio. When asked about Marcus, Drake just smiles faintly and says, "Every man got his reason. I forgive him." His clip spreads fast. People can't believe how calm he is. That single line changes the tone of everything. It's like he's finally moved past it. But the story still isn't done. A leaked email surfaces from a tabloid outlet showing someone tried to sell more footage of the fight longer. It's clearer, with audio. But apparently, Drake's team bought it first, preventing it from ever releasing. People speculate he did it to protect not just himself, but everyone involved. It's the first time the world sees Drake not as the arrogant superstar, but as a human being who just wanted peace. Soon after, Marcus reappears quietly on social media, posting a photo of him and Tiana hugging with the caption, "Family over everything." It's no more shade, no more anger. It feels like closure. And interestingly, fans notice Drake likes the photo within minutes. No words, no comments, just a simple like. The internet takes that as a sign of truce. As the dust settles, people start reflecting on the whole situation. One podcast host sums it up perfectly. This wasn't about who won the fight. It was about what the fight revealed: ego, fame, love, betrayal, forgiveness. In a weird way, Drake lost that night, but he also gained something. The world saw him as human for the first time. Weeks pass, and the scandal finally begins to fade. Drake's back doing interviews, performing again, even cracking jokes about it on stage. At a show in Houston, he laughs between songs and says, "If you ever lose a fight, just make sure you drop a fire song after." The crowd goes wild. It's that moment everyone realizes he's truly moved on. But deep down, there's still mystery around that night. Who was in that SUV? Was there a real setup or just coincidence? Drake never answers that question directly. Maybe he doesn't know, or maybe he just doesn't care anymore. Either way, he turned one of the most humiliating moments of his career into another chapter of his legend, not because he won, but because he survived it. And that's the truth no one expected. He got knocked down in public, but he stood back up in front of the world. The fans, the media, even his haters, they all watched him fall, but they also watched him rise again. And in a culture obsessed with perfection, that made Drake more real than ever. By the end of it all, people start quoting his new lyrics online. "You can bruise